Jesus, can you hear me? I don't know where else to turn it. I'm desperate. I need your help.
I can hear you, my son. I have always been listening.
Who are you? Who are you? Who are you?
According to an article by the New York Post titled 150-Year-Old Stained Glass Window Reveals Jesus Christ with Dark Skin, Stirring Questions About Race. A nearly 150-year-old stained glass church window that depicts a dark-skinned Jesus Christ interacting with women and New Testament scenes has stirred up questions about race, Rhode Island's role in the slave trade, and the place of women in 19th century New England society. The window installed at the long-closed St. Mark's Episcopal Church in Warren in 1878 is the oldest known public example of stained glass on which Christ is depicted as a person of color that one expert has seen. This window is unique and highly unusual, said Virginia Ragwin, a professor of humanities emerita at the College of the Holy Cross in Worcester, Massachusetts, and an expert on the history of stained glass art. I've never seen this iconography for that time. The 12-foot tall, 5-foot wide window depicts two biblical passages in which women, also painted with dark skin, appears as equals to Christ. One shows Christ in conversation with Martha and Mary, the sisters of Lazarus, from the Gospel of Luke. The other shows Christ speaking to a Samaritan woman at the well from the Gospel of John. The window made by the Henry E. Sharp Studio in New York had largely been forgotten until a few years ago when Hadley Arnold and her family brought the 4,000 square foot, in other words, 371 square meter Greek Revival Church building, which opened in 1830 and closed in 2010, to convert into their home. When 4 stained glass windows were removed in 2020 to be replaced with clear glass, Arnold took a closer look. It was a cold winter's day with the sunlight shining at just the right angle, and she was stunned by what she saw in one of them. The human figures had dark skin. The skin tones were nothing like the white Christ you usually see, said Arnold, who teaches agricultural design in California after growing up in Rhode Island and earning an art history degree from Harvard University. The window has now been scrutinized by scholars, historians, and experts trying to determine the motivations of the artist, the church, and the women who commissioned the window in memory of her 2 aunts, both of whom married into families that had been involved in the slave trade. Is this repudiation? Is this congratulations? Is this a secret sign, said Arnold. Ragwin and other experts confirmed that the skin tones in black and brown paint on milky white glass that was fired in an oven to set the image were original and deliberate. The piece shows some signs of aging, but remains in very good condition, she said.
Jesus, can you hear me? I don't know where else to turn it. I'm desperate. I need your help.
I can hear you, my son. I have always been listening.
Who are you?
It is I, Jesus. I heard your prayer and I've come to help you.
You're not Jesus.
You know what, family? Anything but the Negro. Anyone but the Negroes. Now listen to this, everyone. This is where we as Negroes continue to see how racist educators continue to make an assertive effort to rewrite history and or manipulate our approach to it. Listen closely to this foolishness as I continue to read from this article. It says, but does it depict a black Jesus? Arnold doesn't feel comfortable using that term, preferring to say it depicts depicts Christ as a person of color, probably Middle Eastern, which she says would make sense given that the Galilean Jewish preacher was from. Others think it's open to interpretation.
I am.
But doesn't Jesus look a bit more like...
Oh, I see. You thought I'd be white.
Kind of, yeah.
Look, I don't know what to tell you. I was born in the Middle East 2,000 years ago. The Bible's very clear about that. It should be pretty obvious I don't have blonde hair and blue eyes.
I guess so.
Plus, have you heard my story? I was arrested by a mob of angry government officials and beaten for a crime I didn't commit. This shit doesn't happen to white people.
So again, anything but the Negroes. Anyone but the Negroes. When you hear these so-called educators use the label Middle Eastern, they are referring to Turkish people. They'd rather that the Negro Messiah to resemble a group of people who invaded Egypt, Israel, and other ancient countries in the 6th century. This invasion is known as the Ottoman and also the Arab invasion. They want you to believe the same people who hijacked the identity of Kemet, which is now called Egypt, are the original people. They want you to believe that the ancient Israelites look like Turkish people, the same people who geneticist Aaron Elhig says the Ashkenazi Jews are descended from. What's your thoughts? Please be respectful with your comments. Also, please click the like, click the notification bell, and subscribe to this channel.
Listen, Genesis chapter 11 verse 10 explains the genealogy of Shem. Shem was a black man in Africa. If you repeat this back, Genesis 14 verse 13, Abraham steps on the scene. Being a descendant of Shem, which is a fact, means Abraham too was Abraham, born in the city of a black man called Nimrod, grandson of Ham. Ham had 4 sons. One was named Canaan. Here, let me do some explaining. Abraham, Isaac was Jacob had 12 sons, for real, and these were the children of Israel. According to Genesis chapter 10, these were the children of Israel. According to Genesis chapter 10, these were the children of Israel. According to Genesis chapter 10.